November, Pisces. It's Amanda here with your RuneScope for November 2017. This month, in conjunction with the runes, I will be using the premium edition of the Tarot Art Nouveau. This is by Linnea Weatherstone and Antonella Castelli, for those of you that are interested in that. And then after this reading, be sure to join me for part 2 of your November RuneScope over on my Vimeo channel. The link is below in the details section. Just click or tap show more, or that little arrow down there, and I will be pulling one card from the Fairy Ring Oracle. This is by Anna Franklin and Paul Mason. This will give us some additional advice and wisdom for you for navigating the month of November. But let's jump in first and see which runes want to talk to Pisces about November. What's going on with my Pisceans? November 2017 for Pisces. What are you doing, Pisces? There it is. As always, keep in mind, Pisces, these are general readings, so not all of these messages will be for you. Some are going to be for the other Pisceans that are watching. If you would like something far more specific, you can schedule a private consultation with me. I do those on Skype for $70. Just drop me a line at runescopesforyou@gmail.com. That's the number 4 and the letter U. You will also find that below the video. Also, I will have gift certificates, holiday gift certificates available through December 14th. If you would like to give the gift of a reading to a friend or loved one, just drop me a line at that same email address and we can get you set up with that. The gift of the future, right? But let's see. Also, you can watch the video for your rising sign as well, Pisces. Most of you know that. You guys are usually tried and true religious watchers of these videos, so you know the drill. Challenge or focus? Let's take a look at that. Looks like we're focused on money. Many of you focused on money here because we have the Ace of Pentacles here as your challenge. But this is a good challenge to have because this is a new financial beginning. This is something very creative as well. So this kind of goes along, I think, with last month here, Pisces, you getting an offer that you were pretty excited about. Maybe it was coming in. We'll see as we move along. Coming in towards the end of the month. But it's going to put an end to this kind of stop and start energy. But Hagalaz is coming along here. So, I mean, this could be an offer that comes out of nowhere. Whether you have a job or not, even if you are working somewhere else, this could be like, oh, you know, someone saying, hey, we want you to move into this position. We'd like you to take over as creative director, I'm hearing for some of you. Again, with the creativity. Like you're going to be birthing the ideas. You're going to be bringing the things to fruition. Now, the only reason I would feel like this is a challenge is because maybe this is the position you want. It's popped up on the job board and you want it really, really bad. And, you know, it's the stress of, am I going to get it? Or, you know, these people that maybe don't like you or are jealous. Maybe there's a lot of competition for this position, or you feel like, gosh, if I could just get this, this would be the best thing. I would be so happy if I could just get this. There could also be a delay in hearing back. So maybe you applied for this or you apply for it early in November, Pisces, and then it's a waiting game, and that's what the challenge is. But yeah, I feel like you guys are looking for new work. You're looking, even if you still have a job, but you're looking for additional income, maybe from creative projects, maybe from things you create or birth, or and you're kind of maybe set up an online store or maybe even a brick and mortar store, and you're just kind of, there's a delay of response. You're kind of waiting for those ships to come in. I'm seeing the 3 of Wands where it's like, yeah, you've sent your stuff, your goods off to market, and you're waiting for, or you've put your stuff out there and now you're waiting for the feedback, or you went to the job interview and you filled out all the paperwork and you took all the tests and now you're waiting to hear back if you got the gig or what's going on with that. So I think the challenge is just the waiting and being patient because you want it so badly. Now for some of you, maybe the challenge is, you know, this comes out of nowhere You may be second guessing yourself because you may have some people that are like, oh, you shouldn't take that. That sounds dicey, or that sounds sketchy, or why would they want you? Or, you know, naysayers. Tune them out, Pisces. Because they're in the challenge position too. Tune them out. Shut them down. Yeah, turn that off, because especially when something like that comes out of nowhere, that's almost always the universe saying, hey, here's your present. Here's your gift. Happy November. You know, so now for some of you, this could be literally fertility, because Ace of Pentacles can be a fertility rune, and we do have the rune of motherhood. New beginnings. As a mother, you could be trying to get pregnant. You could have maybe tried some treatments, and now it's the waiting game, right? The challenge in November is to wait and see if, you know, it took or it worked. So, and yeah, you may have people telling you, oh, this treatment is, there's not enough known about it, or, you know, it's definitely not going to work, or don't get your hopes up. Again, naysayers, you got to tune them out, Pisces, because I feel like whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, whether it's actually birthing a human or birthing a creative idea or your own business or a new job, you've got to really stay positive and tune those naysayers out. Trust that intuition, because I feel like, again, you've got a really good feeling about whatever this is and how it's manifesting for you and how to bring it actually into manifestation. Because in the present energy, end of October going into November, we've got the Ace of Rods. Again, birth. Some of you are maybe giving birth in November, and you're just like, it's the waiting for, when's it going to strike? Like, it could happen at any point this month. Or maybe your child, maybe it's your grandchild that it's like, oh, I'm so excited, and it could happen at any time in November. Maybe it was supposed to happen in October, but instead it's going to maybe, you know, this little soul's going to make an entrance and be a little bit late. This, though, if it's not a child, is something that you're very passionate about. It is a very creative action that you are just joyful about, because you've got the rune of joy and excitement, and you cannot wait to set off on this journey or start this, get this going, get it reaping some, like, start bringing in that money, right? I feel like for many of you, it's like, oh my God, can we just get going already? I need money. We're coming up on the holiday season. I got to start reaping my benefits, reaping my reward. So yeah, aces can also be offers. So, but this is something, gosh, you want really bad, Pisces. So if this is a job, it's really an offer that you can't wait to get. You really, really want to receive. Now, you're feeling really good about it, though, going into November. And fall is your power time. I feel like many of you, you just love this time of year. And if you look back, for some of you, I mean, it could be that fall is always kind of a harvest time for you. Especially if you look back on, yeah, manifesting your ideas, creative projects, new jobs. If you look back, you may notice that, gosh, a lot of them did start between, you know, September 21st and December 21st. Whether or not that's autumn for you. For some of you, my Australians, it's a different season, or, you know, if you're in another part of the world, it could be a different season, but those dates may be significant, because that's what this rune means to me in a lot of ways. This could also be like you patenting an idea. Patenting, I don't know how to say it. An invention. You know, you getting the rights, you getting the exclusive rights to something, you copywriting something that you've written or created, or an album that you've recorded, or a music that you've written, or anything like that. Like, you really taking the time. Maybe you had to check with the patent office, or check with a certain government agency or bureaucratic agency to see if you could go ahead with this idea. Can I patent this name? Can I copyright this? And then you're waiting to hear back. But I think you're going to be really happy with the news you get, many of you, with Rune Yo. There's just the rune of joy and happiness here. Now, the help that's coming in. Let's take a look at that. Help that's coming in November. You have this Star reversed and Rido reversed. Cancer got a similar, both of those but in the challenge position. So this is coming up as a help to you. Let me see what's coming through with these two. Well, for some of you, it's just the message that the overdue healing is coming, whether it's a financial situation, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, if you've had a health problem you've been dealing with, or someone close to you has been dealing with some sort of emotional scar. The delay will be beneficial for some reason here, Pisces. So yeah, again, if it's like, oh my God, am I ever going to hear back from these people? The delay is going to be a good thing. It's going to work out better for you in some way. You may also have to, it could also be that at first you're like, maybe having to go a long way or travel a long way, or think you're going to have to move to take a job, travel to take a job, but then it turns out that you don't have to go in order to get this. So maybe they will end up doing the interview on Skype, or, you know, maybe you do travel and go for the interview, but then you're like, well, you know, I really can't relocate. And maybe you're thinking, oh God, I hope that doesn't put me out of the running. And then you find out that no, it doesn't. You're going to go ahead and get the job and be able to work remotely, or not have to relocate, or not have to take a journey that you don't want to take. And I apologize for the shooting day at the police academy, which is every day. Which unfortunately I live by. Nothing like peacefulness when you're reading. What must be accepted? I'm going to wait. I think there's going to be more coming through with that. I feel like there's something else that wants to come through with those, but they kind of like, they said I will come back to it. What must be accepted about the month of November? We've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So what I'm seeing here is there's not a lot of room for negotiation if you're not going to move for a job, Pisces. That's the first message coming through. There's not a lot of, you know, payment. Like if you were to relocate or you were to move, you might get more money. So maybe it's like this job is in a location that is more expensive to live. And yeah, if you were going to live there, you would get a cost of living increase. But because maybe they're like, oh, well, you can work from where you are, work remotely, or, you know, not have to relocate, then we will, you know, the pay will be a little bit lower. So there's something about negotiations. It's like a whole. It's not just the salary. It also includes like whether you're relocating or the travel that goes along with it. Or maybe it's like this job requires travel, and maybe they'll pay for some aspects of that, but not all. So again, that's something to consider. This will all be discussed though and told to you. I feel like if it's not in the job listing that you applied for, it will be discussed in the interview. But I mean, this is a fantastic new beginning. Some of you at first may just be put off, but like because this job requires travel, and you may be thinking, maybe it's just that you're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to pay for all of that. Like, do they compensate me for that? And then you find out, well, we do compensate you for not all of it, but most of it. So yeah, there's something about, I feel like though for many of you, this could be like going to a lot of really cool locations that you're kind of like, well, you know, I can't wait to do this. So, I mean, I'll take a little less in pay if I get my travel paid to go. I feel like for many of you, the travel is paid. Okay, maybe it's just a percentage of the accommodations that they, you know, won't compensate, or something like that. But yeah, I'm not seeing them real likely to budge on the salary. So the negotiations may be a little bit stalwart in that sense. Now, for some of you, those of you that do have to travel to go on the interview, you may be like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to charge this, or I'm gonna have to take out a loan in order to, you know, go do this. Just to get the airfare or whatever, and then you find out that, oh, they will cover some of that. So again, ask questions. I feel like, again, because we've Ansu's here, so the rune of mouth, and you know, use it. Ask those questions. Anything that's kind of murky or that you feel is not as clear, or that you have questions about regarding the job and regarding the responsibilities, and particularly regarding the travel, location, that sort of thing. Ask those questions. But I mean, you're so excited about this new beginning. Now, for those of you that this is an actual birth, I mean, I really feel like this happens in a hurry. Like, some people may not even be able to get there. Like, you may, for some of you, it may be like, oh my God, my mom's not gonna make it, or oh my God, my husband is not gonna make it, or my boyfriend, or whoever, or my sister, or my brother. And, you know, it could be, it happens too quickly that they get there after the fact. Maybe you wanted them in the delivery room with you. And, you know, unfortunately, they're not able to make it in time. So it looks like those of you that are giving birth are going to have a very, like, it's going to be quick and easy, and all will be well. But yeah, there's no way to buy more time. It's just like, we can't, you know, or maybe it's that you can't, like, you wanted the epidural or you wanted the drug and you can't get the drug or something like that. Now, if you're a male Pisces, this could obviously be going on, you know, with your wife or your girlfriend. But yeah, there's not a ton of room to negotiate. Those of you that are looking to purchase a vehicle, again, this could be the situation where maybe you can't get approved for the amount, so you have to kind of come up with, you're not able to get it for the price that you want, and you have to decide. And some of you, I feel like, you're going to want it really bad, and you may try to talk them down, but it's going to be difficult. Some of you may be winning a trip in November. Yeah, so if there are any sweepstakes or anything, maybe that's it. You entered the sweepstakes, this all expenses paid vacation, and you're waiting to hear back if you want it. And I think some of you will. It appears you're very lucky in November, Pisces. So yeah, if you see something like that, go ahead and enter, even if you don't normally do that sort of thing, or maybe buy some lottery tickets, because I mean, there's a lot of luck on the table here. This could also be, we do have Thanksgiving in November. Some of you could be trying to get out of Thanksgiving. Maybe that's what this is. It's like, oh God, I really, I don't want to go to Thanksgiving, or I'm not feeling it this year. I don't want to travel all that way. I can't afford to travel all that way, especially if I haven't heard back from this job, or maybe like you are starting this new job and it's like, man, I don't want to, like, you know, travel and then have to come, you know, I just want to take some time off and enjoy the days off to rejuvenate, or maybe you don't have the time off from work. But it looks like it's going to be kind of a non-negotiable thing, but it is going to turn out to be a good time. You're going to be happy, and everybody's going to be really excited about your news. Well, besides these naysayers, again, don't listen to them. Now, the outcome of November, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So this is working really hard, but getting the money to play hard. Like, you're gonna feel like, you know, this is so, like, you have need here too in the reverse. So it is kind of like, oh, this is exactly what I've done before. It's very familiar. So for many of you, if this is a job, it's like going back to something you used to do before, or skills that you've used in other jobs, or maybe even going back to an old employer, going back to, or working again with a boss or a coworker. Maybe that's how you kind of heard about this. They let you know that their place is hiring. Maybe they moved on to somewhere else from where you used to work together and now they're letting you know, hey, my new place is hiring. I'm gonna do my best to get you on here. But you may be very nervous just about the processes, like will they do things differently than what I'm used to? It may be the learning curve that's scaring you a little bit. But don't let that scare you, Pisces. And you may initially just be like, oh my God, I'm never gonna learn all of this. I'm never gonna learn all of this. They're saying here with need, if you think back, you felt that way before. And you did. You did learn it all. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles means you're going to be working hard in November. You're going to have a lot to do, but you're taking pride in that work and you're finally feeling, you know, making the money that you feel like you should have been making, or you're finally feeling more stable when it comes to money. If it's not totally there in November, it will be by December because we are at a 7. 4s and 8s are more stable. So because we're at the 7 in November, the 8 should be coming in just in time for the holiday season. So I feel like many of you are starting a new job. You're kind of thrown into it and you're working right out of the gate, and you've got a lot to learn, but don't be overwhelmed by it. Don't fear that. Because I feel like for many of you, this is old hat. Like this is the same, you're like, oh, this is the same process that I had before. Or they had at the other place, and for some of you, I feel like that's what this is up here. This help that's coming in is like just feeling like, oh my gosh, I'll never learn all of this, or oh my God, I don't know if I can do all of this. And you will. It's a process. Even by the end of November, if you start in November, I think you're going to have a lot of it down here, Pisces. So don't be intimidated. Don't be overwhelmed by the new job or the new job of motherhood, fatherhood. Because, you know, a lot of that is instinct, right? That's what this is saying, is like, you know, there's something in you, probably from past lives. We've almost all been parents in past lives. It's just, it's old hat. It's going to come back to you. Whether or not you lived it in this reality before, it's definitely going to be like a deja vu period for you. So it looks like a really excellent November. A few bumps here and there, but you're going to sail through them, Pisces. There's something that you really want and you are going after, and you're going to deal with whatever comes along with that in order to get it. So, and I think you should trust those instincts, because that's how you're going to start manifesting money. And if you are manifesting a child or wanting to get pregnant, I do feel like, you know, you'll be working hard on it in November. And, you know, if you're not successful in November, you'll have news thereafter, soon thereafter, maybe before the end of the year. And those of you that are ready to give birth, I do think it's going to happen unexpectedly. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen on the due date for many of you. So you may want to have a plan for those of you that you want to be there, like, hey, it could happen anytime now. Because it doesn't seem like you'll have a ton of time to play with. Seems like things go really smoothly, but very quickly. So, all of that being said, Pisces, now meet me over on Vimeo. The link again is below. Just click or tap show more, or that little arrow beneath the video. I'm going to shuffle the fairy ring. And we're going to see what additional wisdom and guidance we can get for you. I especially want to focus on this help and see what additional guidance we can get regarding those that information and this negotiation issue here. So meet me over there. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you back here on YouTube next month.